Many people like to say that football is a matter of life or death, and although this phrase is dramatised quite a bit, the result of a simple football match can dictate your entire mood for the rest of the week. For some people it's even more serious, where every penny they have goes towards supporting their team up and down the country. That is why in today's video we will go into something a bit more serious, a football match that sparked a war. You may think of the El Salvador versus Honduras wars, however we are not going into that. Today we're going into an even more unknown event, as today we're going to go into the Dinamo Zagreb v Red Star Belgrade riot that led to the Croatian War of Independence from Yugoslavia. Smash the like button if you find this interesting, and tell me down below what video should I do next. Subscribe and like, and let's get into it. Mazzola Designs, 15% off. Use code BREAD for 15% off. Link down below. The date is the 13th of May 1990. It is a normal match day in a 1989-1990 Yugoslav First League, as two of the best teams in the division at the time, Red Star Belgrade and Dinamo Zagreb, comes head to head. However, looking back on it, no one really cared about the football. Before explaining what took place, it's important to understand some key aspects. The year is 1990 and Yugoslavia was its very own nation at the time. If you are a young person like myself, it may be hard to imagine a country called Yugoslavia. Yugoslavia was a collection of 7 nations put into one. Those nations were Serbia, the key nation in all of this, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Montenegro, Macedonia, Slovenia, Kosovo, and Croatia. Tensions were high coming to this game between Dinamo Zagreb and Red Star Belgrade. This was usually high due to their fierce contest in the league, however this was heightened due to rising ethnic tensions in Yugoslavia, as just weeks before this match took place, Croatia's first election in almost 50 years took place, in which the parties favoured Croatian independence. Now, it is important to understand the Deleger, and more specifically a man called Arkan. In Serbian Ultras culture, the Deleger was a highly respected and dangerous group who followed Red Star Belgrade games, and for this game travelled in a numbers of up to 2,000 into the Croatian capital of Zagreb. The Deleger was ran by a very dangerous man called Arkan. This group, ran by this one man, was responsible of committing several across Yugoslavia during the war in the 1990s, coined the nickname Arkan's Tigers. And then we turn our attention to the Dinamo Zagreb Ultras, called the Bad Blue Boys. The Bad Blue Boys were Dinamo Zagreb's answer to the Deleger, being Dinamo's largest Ultras group, numbering in their thousands. Founded back in 1986 and was in favour of Croatian independence. So what we have here is a football match of the capital giant of Croatia versus the capital giant of Serbia. Both nations are not just head-to-head ethnically, but politically and technically also on a football pitch. But during this match, the football part of it won't really matter and would just be used as a platform for what was about to happen next. On May 13th, 1990, the Red Star Belgrade fans made their way to the away section of the Zagreb Stadium. As kickoff approached, pro-Serbian and anti-Croatian chanting escalated to rock throwing, fighting with police, and eventually a breakout from the away section into the main stand of the stadium. The main stand was seen as the family section, which contained thousands of Dinamo Zagreb fans, many of whom were women and children. So, a response happened. As the Red Star fans broke free from the away section and entered into the family stand, the Bad Blue Boys, the Dinamo Zagreb group, tried to leave their section to go and meet them to protect their fans. However, this was led with what was deemed as unfair treatment by the police, as the police on the pitch were seemingly doing relatively nothing to the Serbian group. However, when it comes to the Croatians, they seem to respond very differently and a lot more aggressive. This only caused more upset. About 10 minutes before kickoff was due to happen, the Bad Blue Boys made it onto the pitch, and the chances of the game happening had faded away completely. The match officials and most of the players disappeared down a tunnel. The entire stadium had become a battleground between the police, the Bad Blue Boys, and the Deleger. From this event, this of course garnered worldwide attention for a whole host of reasons. However, Many people, especially if you are older, may remember this for one certain event, an image that stands out as truly iconic. A man by the name of Zvonimir Boban. Boban was the captain of Dinamo Zagreb and remained out on the pitch as the fighting began. It is important to state that the connection between the fans and the players back in these days were very close, and a lot of the same values and feelings were shared amongst the fans and the players. The feeling was shared. They were both highly patriotic and wanting the best for the nation. So while the bad blue boys were trying to get onto the pitch, Boban witnessed what he deemed as the police being overzealous in beating a Dinamo Zagreb fan, and with this, Zvonimir Boban took action as he ran over and kicked the policeman who had been attacking the fan, knocking him to the ground. This one action was caught by TV cameras, and it led Boban to be lauded by all Croatians as a national hero, a patriot in his actions against who many saw as pro-Serbian police. This image is famous and for many Croatians was a key moment in time towards their independence. For this, Boban received a 6-month ban from the Yugoslav FA for his kick, meaning that he missed the 1990 World Cup in Italy. Surprisingly, he did indeed represent Yugoslavia once his ban was up, and he went on to have a successful 10-year spell at AC Milan. However, back to the present. Fortunately, no one lost their life. Over 60 people were seriously injured during the riot. However, the main thing was what was happening outside the stadium. The political fallout was huge. For example, many Croatians believed that the riot was actually orchestrated by the Yugoslav government. Other theories of the unconfirmed reports that the police went easy on the visiting Red Star fans and instead focused their attention on the Dinamo fans instead. Although none of these theories were ever officially proven, all it did was add more attention and debate onto this day. Many people believe that this incident was the spark that led to the Yugoslav wars. However, it is fair to say that this is not the sole watershed moment that made everything fall down. Undoubtedly, this was one major event that led to the path of war. However, the tension between Croatia and Serbia was also caused by other events, including other football events too. For example, in June 1990, a largely Croatian crowd booed the Yugoslav anthem before an international game. In September 1990, fans of the Croatian team Hajduk Split burned a Yugoslav flag and chanted for Croatian independence during a game in Split. Football undoubtedly played its part in highlighting the political divisions between the two nations, as all of this led to the official Croatian War of Independence on the 31st of March 1991, a war that lasted for 4 years, leading to independence of Croatia. Many of the large ultras and hooligan groups of the Delaje or the Bad Blue Boys swapped the terraces for the battlefield, and many fought and perished in the Yugoslav wars. To this day, a plaque outside the Maksimir Stadium can be found, which remembers the riot and all Dinamo Zagreb fans that passed away in the struggle for Croatian independence. And despite many people saying nowadays to keep politics and football separate, people who may say this are incredibly naive, as this has always and will be intrinsically linked. And despite this one event may not being the sole reason of a war, it is looked back on fondly by the Croatian people, and the man Zvonimir Boban will be remembered forever in Croatian history. I don't think that man will need to buy himself a beer, maybe ever in his life. So there you go, boys and girls, that is your story for today. I really enjoyed looking through this. I do enjoy bringing stories that I may have never heard of before to the channel, and I hope you guys found this interesting too. So tell me down below, what should I do next? And I'm looking forward to doing more content like this in the future. Smash the like button, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you next time.